Yeah. Twitch chat, what's up? Oh my god, Malarkey, ye sound surf feeds. It's Papa, Sphinx, Nightfall, Winged, Phil, and I think that's it. Man. Hello everybody, happy Monday. Oh, Monday. Oh. Monday, gross. Because Mondays are definitely different than every other day of the week for me. They are totally different. I work every day. They're all the same. They're all wonderful. But hey, everybody. Hope you're having a good Monday all the same. Mondays suck for a lot of people I know. Short stream today, by the way. Gonna just do like an hour and a half. I got my schedule all wrong. I got to go to the airport to pick up family later, but this was the only window I had, so we're gonna do a quick hour and a half, hour 45 maybe, and that's it. So we're gonna probably play one deck, and then I wanted to do a Regis talks about things with potential nerfs. I wanted to talk through cards I think could get balance changed. We usually have a balance change, you know, shortly after the expansion, so always good to talk about what we think that might be. Hey, Karubadon, Cutman, what's up? Hey, everybody. So, on the note of what we're going to play today, I don't really know the answer to that yet. I have a few lists that I have been sitting on, which I wanted to spotlight certain cards of them, but I wouldn't say they're lists I'm, overtly excited about. So, I don't know if I'll play those or not. Just thinking here. Yeah, not a lot of things I'm like super pumped about. Your hair looks cartoony today. I love it. Oh, thanks, man. It is doing a weird thing today. I don't know why. It's kind of got a... Whoa, that swoop is dramatic today. Should I change it or not? It'll probably flatten out a little bit. It's still kind of got a cool swoop. Nice. Wow. Hey, holla at your boy. What's up? Thanks for stopping by. It's a wave. It's thematic. Yeah. Imagine Twin Fin. Imagine Twin Fin right here in the crest of the wave. Maybe you gotta look this way. Imagine Twin Fin right here. Just swooping up that wave. That's what it is. It's just my Twin Fin thematic. Thank God Twin Fin. I haven't seen hardly any Twin Fins. It's good. It's a relief because it's actually still a pretty decent win rate deck. It's still in tier 2. Switcheroo Priest is still tier 2, which is good enough to be played a lot if somebody's just looking for a lazy, like, you know, easy troll climb. You could absolutely do it, but thankfully it's just not been popular. That's really good news. That might mean it doesn't get nerfed. We'll talk about that later, though. We're literally going to talk about Switcheroo Priest. Peaks at 4%. Seems like, yeah. I thought it get played way more at lower ranks. Oh, I guess it does some here. 5% at Silver 10. Still not super common, though. Not crazy common. All right, so... Isn't Switcheroo Priest also including Shellfish? Oh, I don't think so. No, not according to their archetype thing here. No Shellfish. I think that's listed under something different, like Deathrattle or Mill or something. Which it should be. Yeah, Shellfish Priest is lower. They're distinct. I'm glad they're not calling it like Switcheroo or I think Silence Priest is also a bad name. It's not really about the silences. Silence Priest as an archetype has been more about like a board focus. That can do that, of course, but it's not really the goal or the drive for the deck. So I guess we're going to make a deck in that case. Since I don't have an awesome one to play, that's fine. The one thing on my list that we haven't done yet that was probably most interesting to me was a Taunt Druid. Which I don't know if that's a thing, but I wanted to see if there were like a lot of taunt and like synergy cards for this. Like I know we have Plague Maw the Rotting, I believe it's called Plague Maw. Get out of here! I don't want taunt. Yeah, Plague Maw. Whoa, whoa, whoa! We probably will actually run that card, so maybe I should click that. But Plague Maw, you know, can bring back a taunt, which it's not actually very good for Kolak if you think about it, because this is 0 attack, so it I don't know. It keeps Kolak immune, perhaps, though, is the interesting thing, right? Like, it won't have taunt, but Kolak would still be immune if I managed to get both of those down, so that could be one way to support Kolak. Hey, Mr. Rocket Raccoon thanks 100 bits, by the way. Amazing. So taunt synergies around Plague Maw, and I think we probably like run a Guff in this deck, right? Just to have the mana to play all this stuff together later in the game, sort of thing. And probably run some cards to support Guff as well. Things like Wild Growth. Basically build a lot of the ramp stuff that's happening already in Druid, but instead of running like the Naga Sea Giant package, we're gonna run like a Taunt Kolak package. So we may cut like Gardeners and Naga Sea Giants and Kazakhstan, and instead run Kolak and, you know, Thick-Hide Kodo and maybe a big Moarg we'll think about too. He's pretty good. I'm not sure we're gonna have the best kind of finishing utility in this deck, right? You know, the other Druid has Kazakhstan, can basically win any game if they don't win off just swinging ramp. We could do Bran and Zola stuff, I guess. Oh, Quest. Oh, you're saying for Quest. Oh, it's a good idea actually to go back to Quest with Bran and Zola. That's a really cool deck idea for later. I did have like the idea to revisit all the quest lines with the new cards, so that's something we'll do. I don't think that fits here that well necessarily, but definitely something to keep an eye on for later. Okay, we could do, I mean, obviously Ibis is really good with Guff, but I don't think the Oracle actually makes a lot of sense, right? Maybe if I went for Razormane Battle Guard, then Kodos are getting copied by Oracles. I don't know. I think that's a little too committed, though. This is almost more tempo-y, and I'm not really looking to be the tempo-y deck. I think Ibis alone is still a really relevant card, so we can still just run an Ibis. That's going to be fine. Dinosaur! Oh my god, 41 mods, dude. Just letting that auto sub roll on, dude. I got some of those, actually. Thanks to the 41 mods, incredible. We might not do Mark of the Wild, but I think Mark of the Spike Shell's pretty good, actually. We'll have a lot of good taunt minions to copy, so that's just a buff that generates me on theme value, right? What else is Ramp Druid running? Am I missing any key rampy pieces? Scales of Onyxia, definitely, but we're gonna try to rely on like taunts instead of Scales as our reactivity, because, you know, we'll be reacting by making our opponent hit taunt minions. Earthen Scales is still probably pretty good for us. We want life gain. We're gonna have a lot with Moarg and Kodo, but a little more never hurt. Kelp Keeper, Wrath, Scale, Kazakhstan, Onyxia, Naga Giant, Jerry Rig Carpenter. I could probably still do a Carpenter for Nourish, but yeah, I could still do a Carpenter for Nourish. Seeds for Draw and Discount. Yeah, I mean, if it hits a Kolak, that'd be awesome. We hit either Kolak or Kodo. I'm cool with that. They're both good. So this kind of replaces giants. This kind of replaces Kazakhstan. We'll say this replaces, I don't know, scale or something. This replaces like Kelp Keeper. I'm just sort of mapping out like what's. Yeah, there's also Innervates and Wrath. I can still do Wrath. Wrath is still good. We're fine with Jerry Rig hitting Wrath as well. That's okay. All right, so we kind of have a few flex spots. I don't think I need Innervates as much. I'm not convinced Innervates are super useful, and I certainly don't care about Oracle of the Loon. We can still do Queen Ashara. Any other good just like taunt minions though? This is kind of nice. It's a couple taunts. A little slow on the front half, I'd say. There's the taunt draw for 3. That said Cultist. Sinjin. I've always thought the Barbaric Sorceress was kind of a neat idea. Like swap a Miracle Growth down to low cost. But I don't know. Seems kind of iffy. Primordial Drake, Sleepy Dragon, True to the Reef, nah. Sentries, nah. Fangbounds. Fangbound's kind of intriguing, I'll admit. Like, it doesn't affect Moar, but it hits Kolak. Is an early Kolak gonna be worth it? My only thought is I do kind of wish I had a little bit of like follow-up. If I stick a Kolak in a thing, like a Power of the Wild or like the Beast thing. You know what actually might be good though is Best in Shell. That's gonna be both cycle and just big bodies. I think I might run one of these. Heart of the Wild. Not all of my minions are beasts, of course, but a lot of them are. Kodo, Shells, Kolak. These aren't, unfortunately. Maybe Power of the Wild's just safer in that case. I just want some way to make the... Like, if I stick a Best in Shell board, if I stick a Kolak taunt, I want ways to leverage that into damage and output, you know? Like, follow up. I feel weird just running a one of Power of the Wild, though. Seems like that's not really going to be the best. Best content creator here. I'm the best content creator on this channel? That's such a high honor. JJ, dude, thank you. I'll take it. I hope you don't mean Twitch. That's surely not true. But on this channel, yeah, I'll take that. I could claim that honor, yeah. Could do a Zola. Brand's not really good for us otherwise. Zola's kind of intriguing. Phelan, maybe just to give me some extra depth, could be fun. That's the kind of card I like running. Talon's okay. He's a taunt. I kind of feel like I like Phelan better than Ashara. Because I might need to go deep sometimes. This deck actually has quite a bit of card draw. So I might need to go down to the bottom of the deck, right? And I have some dredge too, so... Makes Phelan a little more intriguing. Okay, so Taunt Druid. Kolak Taunt. Kolak. And by the way, yes, I want to pronounce his name Kolake, but Blizzard said it's Kolak. Cora or somebody tweeted that, so I'm sticking with Kolak, even though it hurts my ears. So this is a Taunt Druid. It's basically got the ramp Druid stuff you'd expect, like Miracle Growth and Guff and Nourish and Wild Growth. But instead of running like Giants and Kazakhstan that will win you the game, this instead runs a bunch of taunts like Moarg Forge Fiend and the new Colossal Kolak. And Plague Maw the Rotting to resummon these taunts to gain a lot of armor and just make a lot of big bodies and disruptions and try to win the game that way, which will probably be far less effective, but perhaps far more fun. Kolake. Kolak. All right, Kolak Taunt. Let's do this. And again, guys, just to give you a heads up if you joined a little later, short stream today. I don't have a lot of time. I gotta head to the airport in about an hour and a half. So I want to play this deck for, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour if it's going well, and then we're going to do a little talk about potential nerf cards. Potential nerfs. Love your hair. Thanks, Sools. And Jaybreak Kid, welcome to the stream. Man, a lot of first-time chatters today. That's unusual, I feel like. Just kind of nothing particularly exciting today happening, but thank you for joining, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Okay, I think we're looking for ramp and guff and stuff to do early. Thick Hide Kodo is honestly fine. If we need it, we'll dump him on 4. Priest, if it's Mill Priest, we might have a problem. That's going to be hard for me to beat because they just have sort of a guaranteed lethality. Yes, I have a Phelan, but I can't shuffle enough cards in to beat Fatigue Priest. So that means I would have to win via board, which is also pretty tough when they're playing a bunch of 7/7s. We can't quite go under that deck like we need to. Switcheroo Priest, I guess, would also beat me, so I don't know if we can beat Priest. We'll just try to get a good enough board. Stick some Kolax or something. Stick some Kolak. Kolak sounds like a medicine for your colon. Get cleaned out today with Kolak. How am I with flights, Regis? I'm fine with flights. I don't get sick. I am pretty uncomfortable. I'm both tall and large, and I have a joint problem. So by the end of the flight, I'm usually not the happiest person, but I survive, you know. It's not too terrible. Witness true strength. But my legs don't really fit. Feel like I'm always cramped up. Usually have some kind of ankle or hip pain by the time I'm done. I'm not going anywhere. I said I gotta pick somebody up from the airport, guys. I'm not flying. I thought that question was unusual. I didn't question it too much, but yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm picking. We've got family coming into town. I'm just picking somebody up at the airport. I'm happy to talk about it. That's fine. But any chance I'll be at PAX East? No. I don't really like going to conventions too much anyway. I've gone to BlizzCon because, you know, it's incredibly relevant to my career, but I don't go out of my way to go to stuff. The seat designer for airplanes was a short, willowy person with scoliosis. Yeah, exactly. How do you do on trips to pick up family at the airport till you get sick?
I cannot do that.
That's funny. So I might... I'm gonna have 10 after the Miracle Growth. I might dredge at the end of this and not grab it. Just so I don't burn a card. That way I can dump the dredge without drawing, right? Do we take the Kolak already, or do we take the Plague Maw? Plague Maw is theoretically pretty nuts with this stuff already. I'm gonna take the Plague Maw to start. The bad news is Kolak's on the bottom, so if I take the Plague Maw, I'm kind of committed to this stuff. But this is really big, and if this is indeed a Silence Shellfish Priest, I don't think they have a lot of good answers to these size of minions in that deck, as I recall. Light Bomb is it, but that's like a one-time thing, right? Oh! This seems like it might be more like real Deathrattle. Hold up. It's just got interesting. I could open up the amount of removal they have. I might be able to use this to get Kolak more reliably. Right? I have Kodo as well. If I draw the Kodo first, Kolak's guaranteed. I also just have 2 of these, so we'll see. I don't really want a 10-mana 10/10 Kelp Creeper here. Wouldn't necessarily hate a Kodo, though. A Moarg would also be good. Why are Shaman decks so boring? I do feel like Shaman was also the least compelling of the set to me. I think Piranha decks are actually kind of cool. the piranhas, for some reason, having different colors makes it far more entertaining to me. I don't actually understand that at all, but that's real. It's a real experience I'm having. So I traded a tin one here just to heal the tin one. Well, let's see if it lives, right? They could have condemn and just wipe this. I don't know. Oh, God. Oh. Was that guaranteed, I guess? Oh, yeah. They all had 4, yeah. Shoot. Only Plague Monk could have lived, man. So, I don't know. This might still be a Mill Priest, but just with, like, some other Deathrattle-y stuff. I'm kind of torn now. It's not super clear what we're looking at. But I still don't think I can beat that, right? If it has the Shellfish package and they do it within any sort of reasonable time frame, I think we're kind of screwed. Why does Hunter have so few draw cards? I feel like Hunter's gotten more card draw lately than ever before in the last year. They just got that crazy one in Onyxia's Lair. The kind of mini Divine Favor type thing. They just got the draw Naga and a spell. They just got, well, not just got, but Barons had the big 5-drop guy. They used to have like 0 card draw. So, I mean, maybe they're still short compared to other classes. Sure, I haven't really thought about it, but they're better than they used to be. Used to be, it was like, I'm out of cards. I got quick shot. Let's go. You were done. That was it. Give me quick shot or give me death. All right. I don't know what to do here. I don't want Mark of the Spike Shell on this, right? So I'm gonna see what happens. Looks like a minion is getting countered. Okay. Might just play the Ibis with no mana left then. Oh, actually, Jerry Rig's good too. Now, do I get the... I don't know how this works. Do I get the Jerry Rig if I play this or not?
You gotta be scrappy with scraps.
You guys know? Huh. I don't even activate the Moonlit Guidance. It doesn't count as having played it. That's interesting to me. It's interesting to me. I think I just make this big and go. The removal seems stat-based. This is a monster. I like Moargs anyway. They're fine. Yeah, if I kill it, I lose 12 damage, right? Like, it's not a crazy notion, but kind of just want to hit them. I gotta end the game soon. Would a Tintin Taunt token have been a Tintin? Yeah, the way these work, they get the, like, base stats. As you saw when I hovered it, right, it said, like, 10 mana, 10-10. It's not like a 1-1 with green stats. It has white stats, which indicates it's, oh, wow, Deliverance is nuts. Okay. Like I said, they have a little more removal than an actual Shellfish Priest. Got some stuff mixed in here, which might be bad because they're better at answering my stuff, but it also might not be bad because, man, I really want this to hit Kolak. It's a 50-50, I think, right? Man, garbage. Garbage, I say. Might give me more time since they don't have a consistent Shellfish mill package, but might also mean I can't quite get there because they keep removing my stuff more reliably. Not sure if I'd rather them trade in a bunch of 7/7s or not. Now, they may not even have Shellfish. I don't know. They might just be a Deathrattle Priest. It's a whole other side of this. But I think Warrior Quest will get nerfed. We're actually going to talk about this later today. We're going to talk about it later today. At the end of the stream here. Ah, there's the Charm Ritual, but not using it on Shellfish, just making an 8/8. Okay. There's Irella still going to give them a million armor if it goes off here, because that's already 2 of these guys. This is already even more of these guys. Also, how am I going to kill these guys? Oh, no. That's going to be a pickle. I can go Kodo, that'll put me at 9, and then I can go Earthen Scales to 8, and then Miracle Growth. Decides to hold the, oh, well, I guess I don't have it in hand yet, but that kind of means I need to kill this Moarg if I can. It's not that easy to do, though. I guess I could Ibis it. so that they aren't able to make another one easily. I mean, they could make an 8/5 in that case anyway off mine. I really care if they do that. 8/5s aren't particularly easier for me to kill, honestly.
Best way.
No, I guess I'll just leave it up in that case. I don't want to make bad plays for nothing. There's Guff finally, baby. A little late to the party, but whatever. Still have Ibis, so still worth doing, probably. We're getting a little light on cards, but we have Phelan to fix that to some extent. Kolak's coming, dude. So these don't really matter for armor gain until Zyrella. Is there any chance I can just hit them for like 20 here and find a win? Doesn't seem like it quite yet, eh? I don't know if I need to start reacting to minions then, or if I need to go face, right? Because Zyrella is still going to potentially give them 1,000,000 armor, because these still count, even though they're silenced. If they have the Zyrella hero card, they're still going to get a lot off this. Okay, interesting. I don't really feel like I should go face yet. I feel like I should deal with a board. Oh, this gets me a cheap Kolak. 4-mana Kolak. I can guff with it. Yeah, I guess I just trade in that case. I don't know. I don't feel confident. Like, even if I hit for 20 here, they're just going to clear a couple of these. I'm not going to have it yet. I don't have another reload that's threatening enough. If I go another Moarg, that doesn't help. Ibis, theoretically, you know, I guess if I like double face and hit Ibis and trade, they would kill 2 things and I'd have an Ibis down that could maybe win the game. But they could also just silence Ibis very easily.
What is the
So I don't think I take the Ibis line. I think I take this line just fine. Oh, I can't play Guff and... I forgot I was spending 2 mana to start. This is fine too. Alright. I'm actually still gonna get hit face. After all that talk, I still decided to hit face. I don't know, man. I'm just like, I don't think I'll get punished by any removal like this. There's not a lot of like one-sided removal here that punishes me, right? Like Light Bomb, for instance, kills their stuff too. So I'm just gonna try to line up some hits. Kolak is dead. Oh no. I am left with a 4/5. Oh, maybe not. Maybe some removal here. Oh, Devouring Plague plus what, like Condemn or something? Oh shoot, I should have traded, guys. Guys, I regret everything. I should have traded, guys. I have major regrets, guys. This was a boo-boo. Should have traded, guys. Guys, why didn't I trade? Also should have played this first. Guys, I should have traded. They are so out of cards though, man. Like, surely I can pull this back. I just gotta make a big Ibis and I think I'll be fine.
You gotta be scrappy with scraps.
I have 80 health, right? Like, I have Colossals coming. In fact, I should have grabbed one now. I don't know. They're still gonna be there next turn, so this is fine. Okay. Let's go. Hit and face. Okay, sure. That's the one thing I'm cool with. Still at 64, so that's not a big problem to me. Let's grab a Colossal here. Gaia or just Glug? Let's go Glug, dude. Might be awkward, right? I could even trade in right now, too, to just already pump it a little. Gaia doesn't like threaten these or anything, so.
see.
This hits Wrath always. Maybe I ought to hold here so that I can Moonlit Guidance the Colossal of my choice.
All patched up.
Okay. Let's see. Hopefully these are actually disruptive. We've seen double Holy Nova already. They might just trade down. I don't have any good rush ways. Oh, actually, Gaia now gives me a lot of stats for Glug because of the 2 rush minions, right? Theoretically. Oh? Third Holy Nova would be very bad here. Let's not do that. Flash Heal Face. Okay. They're just completely running out of steam here, it seems.
This must be the way.
All right. Okay. Big old Glug, dude. Big old Glug. All right. Down to 13. That's the biggest Glug I've had yet, man. I love it. Spirit Guide. That's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. Glug's gonna eat that. Oh wait, actually, is that gonna do it? No, I still got it. Second Gaia copy here. This Gaia copying was clutch, I think. Wow, dude, down to literally the last card here. Get him, Glug! That's a big Glug. Nice, dude. Okay, cool. Their deck really ran out of steam in the mid game. They needed that Spirit Guide like 2 turns earlier, probably. They would have had a lot better time. Seemed like they hit the wrong side of the deck there. Hey, Delarock, dude, thanks for the 16 months, man. So many turtles. TP on my PP with 15 months. Amazing. Thank you, guys.
UN versus Illidan.
Yeah, Glug, I think, is really fun. Power level up for debate, right? But
Strength comes in
he's being
many
played in some actual shaman lists, so he's not like totally dead. Neutral Colossus and mini set, that would be sick. I'd love that. Maybe it's N'Zoth. Maybe N'Zoth will show up as a Colossal in the mini set as a neutral. That would make me a very, very happy person. It would also like give a little bit of a gap to N'Zoth. Like N'Zoth rotating right into N'Zoth might have been a little weird, but N'Zoth rotating into a gap into N'Zoth is like, oh yeah, here's the payoff for the mini set. That'd be so sick. Glug and Scale of Onyxia does sound pretty fun, yeah. An Amalgam Colossi? Oh my goodness, that sounds cool too. All right. Demon Hunter, we got, I think, a pretty good pair of early game cards here. Pretty much all Demon Hunters right now are on the aggressive end of the spectrum, as opposed to slower, so a little bit of early to mid game here will help. In regards to removal, they often use their face a lot. Might be able to just chip them down running into taunts and stuff. But a big Moarg, big Kolak could be big this game for sure.
Time grows short.
Apparently Glug used to be all minions? Really? Did you read that in an interview or something? I didn't even know that.
Weakness true.
That does seem like the OP, because anything, like your opponent's trading into the taunts, like anything you cleared with a spell, like you could have Glug and then just like lightning storm your opponent's board and just kill them in one fell swoop. That seems kind of nuts. perhaps a good change there. Okay, more life gains, okay. Yeah, I don't know, this is a bit slower. Maybe this is like a big Demon Hunter or something? I'm not really sure what we're looking at here. I expected them to get off to a much faster start than this, though. Yeah, I also was disappointed there was no year teaser for the future expansions, like those little gems and the slats or whatever, teasing the expansions. But I think we got too good at it, or they made them too obvious, alternatively, whichever it is. Because last year we kind of knew the whole time. It's like, yeah, we kind of figured it out, guys. Maybe they were like, oh no, we don't want to make them figure it out constantly. I'm sick of these guys figuring this out. Lady OTK? I haven't seen a Lady OTK. I saw a list on Twitter earlier with Lady and Quest. Is there some way to buff the Lady and go nuts? I would expect Quest in that deck though, I would think. Lady's Thinno is Lady. Are there any secrets in this board, guys? I really haven't played with it that much. El Barrage is fine. Maybe just a Fell. Slow start Fell, looks like to me. Naga Fell stuff. Which, if that starts out slow, that's probably good news for us. I think you're hero powering and hitting face, which means I'm probably wrathing. I don't feel good about it, though. Part of me wants to just go for the Nourish already, but Nourish... Oh, I can Nourish Wrath. That's fine. Yeah, that's perfect. Got some life here. We're okay. Nourish Wrath is great. Now Kolak's ready to go, man. Might Miracle Growth first, right? Just to get some more choices here. It'll still be plenty big. We're gonna get, what, 8 cards? Hey, Yenzino, what's up? Destroying the gate next to the cannon. The statue changes after multiple clicks. This statue changes? Oh, I see what you mean. I thought you meant adjusting this, adjusts that. I gotcha. I'm on board now. Jeez, dude, those are big already. Ugh. I mean, okay, it's fine. This doesn't really help my math too awful much as far as we can tell. Man. I'm not in love right now, though. They're gonna murder this really quickly. These 5/4s are scary. Kurtrus is so good, by the way. It took him a little while to get up to steam, but now he's in the 2 best decks in the game. Or 2 of the 3 best, I guess I should say. If we look at... if we look at the most recent meta, Demon Hunter's topping it, and Kurtrus is a big part of it. Which I get, he seems insane. I gave him 5 stars long ago. Just, you know, not many hero cards give you both great tempo and a pretty powerfully lethal hero power. And he gets both, right? Makes him, I think, kind of crazy good.
There is no measure to my fury!
I'm really mad! That's his character trait. I'm really mad about stuff. It's a great character trait to have, too. God, I'm getting absolutely shredded here, dude. I, like, kind of have to kill Steno. I think I just go Ivis and kill Steno. Like, yeah, of course, Guffs in hand. That would be more exciting, but I can't let this murder me. I need to stabilize a little bit and just make these trade in, maybe, right? I didn't get Divine Shield, which honestly in this particular case is the same. Really, because I would have been an 11/11 anyway, and I hit a small minion that didn't really matter much, right? So it's exactly the same as getting Divine Shield. Well, actually it's better because I have higher attack. It's actually better to not get Divine Shield. Thank God I got rushed, dude. I would have been pissed if I didn't get rushed. Oh my God. Oh, I would have been mad. I'm just hoping they have to actually put some work into this, you know? Like, I need to start stabilizing here.
There is no measure to my fury!
Guess we gotta guff next turn, right? Like, just seems too obvious here. I'm getting hit for 5. It's not too bad. Oh, he's not taking 13. I get it. Yeah, I probably would have, honestly, given the lifesteal, but I get it. That's a reasonable decision, I think. Let's play these bad boys. Stop space attacks. These beautiful old lady turtles. This is definitely turtle druid. I guess that's just what I should call it, right? Is Turtle Druid, because it's about Kolak, who's a turtle, and Vesh and Shell, who are turtles. This is good. Fel Barrage is hitting these, thankfully. Fury's running into a minion. Oh, multi-strike's scary, but it's just gonna be 2 taunts, though. That's fine. It's totally fine. Completely okay with that. Yeah, man, turtles just saved me a billion life. An actual legit billion life. I hope they don't have any way to bounce this and I get punished. I haven't seen that, but they could have like a Zola or something. I think I'd still be fine here. As we saw, it wasn't that intimidating with a couple taunts up. I guess they'd have the trade bounce though, which would make their life a little better. But then I'm also gaining, 13 armor, so hopefully I'd be okay. They don't have it, but they made it. Man, I just didn't have a good way to kill this, right? I could have pushed for a Wrath, but it was only a 50-50, so I don't think I had a lot of good choices here. Is that Deathrattle Druid? Yeah, Taunt Druid, Turtle Druid, Deathrattle Druid, something like that, sure. Whatever you want to call it. Templar's Knight says, happy that I found your Twitch stream, my top source for entertainment currently. Wow, dude, that's a really high praise. There's a lot of good shows and Netflixes and everything else, dude. That's very kind. Thank you. And Shane, thanks for the 2-month tier 1 sub. Amazing. Tier 1s are so nice. Okay. Just hitting the taunt. Sure. Give me that life back, baby. Wish this guy had taunts so I could get him back, right? That'd be so sick. Probably just dumping a Moarg here. I think we just killed the Darkweaver. That's fine. Moarg thing is 9, 11, or really kind of 1 is 10. So we can start here.
This must be the way.
Miracle Growth's also really good. Don't really need the Force Fiend at the moment, so let's just Miracle Growth. Oh, does that burn a card, though? Because I go to... Yeah, it does, right? Because I go to... So I need to start here. Because I'm going to get the extra Miracle... Well, it depends whether or not I draw the Miracle Growth, I guess. We don't actually know. Oh, that doesn't help me. That's the same problem. We don't know if it does or not.
From the smallest seed.
Indeed. Okay, cool. It worked. Excellent. Cool. Back to 31. We've already gotten through Jace and Kurtrus. I mean, Kurtrus is always around, but we've gotten through the rush minions, I would say, which is the most scary part in a lot of ways. We got through Sinnoh. They got another Jace, of course. They're probably going to try to pump this Jace up, but can they get to 31? Right. Here's the Jace. Through taunts, by the way, as well. It actually 30, 36. It actually, 44. And a lot more taunts, right? Probably just get extra Moarg here. Also, maybe just start hitting them too at some point soon, right? Can play a lot this turn. Could actually almost play double Moarg. Probably don't need to just yet, but... Alrighty. Let's just play a Moarg and make some more Moargs, right? I don't think I need to get fancy here at all. A Plague Maul would be pretty cool, I guess, but I can't guarantee that. It's not a beast or anything for the Living Seed. Living Seed probably won't be good until Phelan anyway. What is this? 8, 12. I don't know. I just have the most mana of any person ever in history. Right? I just have so much mana. I have so much life. I just have everything I could ever need. I just don't see a Jace able to get there, right? I mean, multi-strike makes it kind of scary, but I don't think so. Hey, JWP, thanks for the raid. Greetings, everybody. So we're at 49. I mean, what is the total output if they get everything, right? Double Fury is, these are both +2, so 4, well, I think they were both +2. I'm not sure when they got played, but yeah, this is another +4, let's say 8. Let's give those +3s just in case. That's 10. Double Fell Barrage is 14. Oh, he's already going. Okay, well, we don't have to count then. I think they're going to be able to clear the Moarg here and hit face, but that's going to be it, right? Like, there's nothing left. They have to be completely out of gas here. And I'm just going to dump double Moarg. Again. Just double Moarg one more time. So many Fell Barrages. Yeah, so they can clear and hit me for 18. That's a good hit. I mean, 16. That's a good hit, but I'm still at 26. After all this, they've basically done 4 damage, right? I think that's their big problem. Let's go ahead and Miracle Growth here. It's going to be huge. And then just one Moarg should be fine, right? I think I'll hold the Moonlit for, like, Phelan. If I could get a Plague Maul down with the Moarg here, that would be so sick. Yeah, I'll do that. I don't need a ramp anymore. Obviously, we're at 19, so. Okay. Good luck. It's like there's Zola number 2. God, that would actually be kind of scary, I guess. Maybe I should respect this. I just don't have a lot of ways to kill this again. It's hard to kill, so I don't really have any choice in the matter. Just kind of hoping they don't have another Zola, I suppose. Alright, they are basically out of gas, out of cards, out of everything. I have, what, 18 and 3 on board, 21. I don't guess I have any lethals yet. Oh, that's just gonna get me lethal. Don't hit that. Don't do that. That's just lethal. Hey, Mrs. Kilbin. Look cute in your sweater. Hey, you're a good luck charm today. I won. Look at you, right as you joined. Right as you joined. Hey, good win, guys. That was awesome. Mrs. Kilbin for the win, says chat. I kind of miss it. Why did he have 2 Jace? He discovered a Zola that gave him a Jace. Discovered a Zola that gave him a Jace. Well, this deck's actually doing pretty well, guys. I don't know. The taunt package has felt like enough to get there so far. Kolak's cool. I did. I mean, sure. Yeah. You know, just, you know how I am. Yes! I love your sweater. Show off your beautiful sleeve of your sweater. People are gonna love your sweater. It's just a great color. That looked weird. Tremutius, dude, thanks for the sub. Oh my god, 38-month resub tier 2 is actually insane. Yeah, about as much as Jace can do, and the 100 bits. Thank you, sir. All right, let's keep here. I don't know if we keep Kolak or not normally, but he's fun, so I'm gonna keep the fun cards, right? Probably should really look for a Wild Growth here always, or a Nourish, but I'm keeping the fun cards because it's fun. Parlayed someone's guff. Oh, exciting. Well done. Excellent work. Is Silence Priest any good? Not really, no. There's Mill Shellfish Priest, as I call it, Mill Priest, which is good if you're really good. There's, in other words, like top tier players have had some success with it, but pretty hard if you're not really good. I mean, it's capable, but it's like, I think like 38% on HS replay right now or something, even at Diamond to Legend. So it's not like, you know, it's like tier 4 or something. And then there's not been a like tempo silence that's picked up either. So I guess no is your answer. The best priest deck, according to HS replay right now, is Switcheroo Priest. Twin Fin Switcheroo Priest is tier 2. Grin Villain's got it. Yeah, that's the TLDR. Priest is still bad. Unless you want to play 12/12s on turn 3 or whatever. Then it's kind of okay. And awful, degenerate, miserable, but, you know, capable. Scalding Geyser, just dredging for something better, I guess. Okay. Sure, we'll coin Guff soon. Burst damage is definitely a concern against Shaman, but also we have to worry about, like, yeah, freeze 11/11s and stuff. Hopefully those aren't as bad for us because of all the taunts we'll have on board. So they may just be like whacking those into my taunts. And if we can hold them off while they're whacking, then we'll be okay. I think, because we'll have like, you know, 30, 40 health. Hopefully, Bioluminescence could still beat me too, though. Bioluminescence can go crazy. But it might be nice that Scalding Geyser's already been utilized for that, so... Like, if they use all their burst damage early, you know, might be okay. Here's another one, but that one was free, I guess. So. I'd say they're not expecting quite as much healing as we have access to. Oh my god, dude. Just all Scalding Geysers all day. I don't know, I can't rush this too much, right? I gotta do the things. Did I like Bomb Rogue? I mean, it was good. It was fun for a little bit, but it's not a deck I'd ever want to play for long because it's just smorky. Face. So it was cool to see, but not a deck for me forever. I like these kind of decks if I'm going to play for a while. You know, big dudes, big defensive stuff, big taunts. Like, Moarg is my dream card, you know? Give me this giant 8/8 demon with crazy armor gain. I like the fantasy of this too. When this guy dies, I guess he's like leaving behind his like armor and you just put it on. So we've got this tiger running around in this demonic armor, and that's why he's got 8 armor. That's a fun little story to tell, right? And these turtles, by the way, these turtles have taunt because they're so shiny and beautiful that you can't stop looking at them. That's another good fantasy. The beautiful turtles. Okay. Let's go, Guff. Yes, yeah. Blizzard as a philosophy definitely likes shorter games, I think, so I'm probably ruining some guy's day on the toilet. He's gotta play a 30-minute game against turtles. Not his favorite, I'm sure. Okay, this is a little bit more of a lot of people aren't running Coral Keeper, they're cutting keepers, but this has got some keepers in there. That's fine, I guess. Anything here I'm really looking to grab? No, not quite yet. Let's wait one more turn for that, I think. I think here we just wrath down some minions and ramp. Call it a day. I'm a little light on card draw at the moment, but Guff's hero power can bail me out if I get desperate, so I don't really mind using these like this too much. Could wait till 9 to get a Kolak taunt for Spike Shell. I don't love playing a Kolak taunt. How much does the Kolak taunt cost? Does anybody know? 5. Okay. The game knows. That's not that bad, I guess. It's not quite a Moarg, but it's at least something. Yeah, you don't want Hearthstone games making people's legs numb, that's for sure. Man, they're just going early on the bioluminescence, huh? They're not like gonna kill me next turn, right? There's no way. I'm gonna greed one more turn here. Do I take this 6 right now? They got 2 spell damage. Like, what could they really have? Like, if all of these were like Frostbite, Lightning Bolt, other Scalding Geyser, right? What's the damage we're looking at? 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 5 is 14. I don't even think I'm dead in that case. I'm gonna take a risk here to get a better play because I can go like Kolak. Well, I don't really want to go Kolak Spike Shell, I guess. It's not very good. Just to heal 9. In other words, I can get a better heal. I don't know. Let's just hold. I'm gonna greed this. This might get punished. I'm taking a real risk here. But I just think it's gonna be hard for them to have lethal. I'm just only even thinking about it because they're just shipping so much damage face already. But I think it's gonna be tough for them to get there. Anything else, I can actually just do this guy and get 8. That's not bad at all. And get another one too, it's fine. I don't really know if these are going to die anytime soon, so they may not really have that much value as an actual Deathrattle yet. So I need to convert them into Earthen Scales value, I think. Okay, so he's pivoting, not going for lethal here. That's a big deal, because that means he might want to try to use these minions and trade them in and stuff. And if not, I can just start eating these spell damages, so... Either way is fine. Plays Regis on the toilet and loses after 39 minutes. That game was crap. I'll say crap. Okay, so that died. I'm feeling even safer now. So now I think we just do this again. Just start ramping up again. As soon as I get a Moarg, I'll probably rip this Earthen Scales, right? That's the real kind of ideal minion here. Maybe a big Miracle Growth minion, whatever. I feel pretty safe, though, 23, when a lot of their burst is already utilized. And, you know, there's no minions attacking me right now or anything. So that's good.
Who here can spell Zinjari? Anybody?
Just summoning the taunt piece of Kolak, re-summon Kolak. No, I don't believe it goes backwards, because the taunt body doesn't say Colossal on it. I think you have to go the front way. Whoa, was that another bioluminescence? What a high roll, man. Great. I love that they're hitting this, though. That's good news. Rockbiter face. Man, they just go. I wish I had some way to clear this board right now. I really don't, though. Ugh. Is Nourish worth it here? Got like giga mana, but I don't really want that. Need to make sure I'm alive here. I don't know. Let's see what else we get. Of course, it's not anything new. It's 2 of the 3 always. Yeah, I'm just gonna die, I'm afraid, if I go only here and here. This hits nothing now, unfortunately. I have all my... Oh, no, there's another Kodo in there. Okay, that's not so bad. Let's try this now. I don't think I'm nourished. Let's see if I nourish. I'm at what? 9. I can play Kodo is 6. That's gonna be 1, 7. Okay.
This must be the way.
Earthen Scales again. Yeah, with the Earthen Scales, I think I make this play. Just make sure I'm alive again, right? Get another Earthen Scales too, which is great. So we're back up to ridiculous health total with this bioluminescence board. And if these want to attack, of course, you know, we're getting 8 back maybe. Hopefully Kolak can even kill a 5/4 later. That would be awesome. Bracing Cold. It's cold. Kill the Kolak, maybe? They keep using burst damage on my minions. I'm okay with that, I think. I'll eventually chip these minions down, I hope. Just through my own taunts, you know? It's kind of the idea, anyway. Alright, here's the Moarg. Moarg. Kodo here is certainly not too bad. Can I nourish and do that? This costs 3 effectively. That's 11. Not quite. This one's actually only 3 though, so I can do that.
Tiny seeds lead to vibrant growth.
Hopefully this is enough. I mean, this 8/8's a pretty clean line if they want it. If they value trade, that's a little more annoying maybe, but kind of need my Miracle Growth. So I'm kind of running out of cards. I got to nourish for draw if I need it now. I have so much mana, I can certainly go that route. I do have to worry if they like stabilize the board. Even if I don't die to burst damage, I don't have endless stuff. I mean, I think eventually I'll get Colossals and things that better deal with a lot of this, but it's not forever. I can't just do it forever. The shell costs 5. We looked earlier. Which isn't bad. It's not, you know, it's not a Moarg, but it's not terrible at 5, I'd say. 5 feels acceptable. Oh, Plague Maw, dude. Do I trade this in for Plague Maw? Oh, I can't really get a good trade, though. Right. Because if I like Earthen Scales and hit, then it lives.
This must be the way.
Yeah, I actually intentionally avoided Kazakus. I didn't really want him. We ran Phelan instead. I'm just sick of Kazakus. But yeah, if you want to improve the deck, I think... Well, number one, you should probably just play the real Ramp Druid. But yeah, if you still want to play this stuff, Kazakus would be a better fit than Phelan, I think.
Think of think.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we just kill stuff. And Moarg, right? I don't know. I could Moarg with the Kodo later, actually. This is a little more interesting to me. I don't need the other one right now, right? So I don't need to play it this turn to draw it immediately, that is. You can get it anytime. Anything may not want to draw too much. This should be fine. Plague Maw is definitely something that this deck can snipe. Like they have removal spells, obviously, but we could try. Might even be able to line up like some of these 3/5s if they don't clear all these. I think they kind of have to clear all these though. They can't just not attack minions for a while. So okay, we got some Miracle Growths still, which I don't know. We got a big Ibis incoming. That's gonna be nice. Even if that gets frozen, right, they still have to usually push through that Ibis. That's the problem for them, I think. All right, so we're at a lot of health. 62. It's a lot. The burst damage is certainly not going to be what gets them there, if anything does. Man, do we just Ibis now? It's like looking kind of juicy. I don't know. It's looking pretty good. I could get him a little bigger, but do I really need to? I could clear the freeze minions here as well. Kolak, do I just go face? Maybe I just trade the Kolak in at this stage, right? Who really cares? Yeah, let's put this in sooner rather than later. Let's make them have an answer. Let's force the action here. I mean, obviously he sets up a win condition in his own right, so let's figure it out. I don't know. Like a hex is bad, of course, but it's fine. We'll reload. It's all good. Glug is actually a bit of a pain because I can't easily deal with all the tutus. They're all their own little guys. So that's a pain. Even for 11 is not bad, but also not really enough. At the moment anyway, right? They might find more though, I don't know. Or might have more, I should say. They need 14 more. And now they're trading those in, so even less spell damage, I guess. I mean, Glug's gonna eat him. No question. Glug was an awesome answer. We're almost always gonna Earthen Scales that, but let's see what we get here first. Carpenter has nothing left. This actually might hit something, we don't know. Let's see, this is 12, 13. So let's just do this for now. And then the next turn we'll try to line that stuff up. I mean, I still kill these, right? They trade it anyway, and there's spell damage on them, so. So Glug eats if he wants. He may like trade some other stuff in and like freeze the Ibis for a minute, but you gotta deal with the Ibis eventually. It's mandatory. I am at a lot of health, guys. Is that 94? Jeez. I mean, I guess you could try to clear the Ibis with spells. What is that even? I don't know what that is. Oh, just Crush Claw. Okay. It's not so scary.
Caring for coral takes a gentle touch.
Oh, it didn't even activate, I guess, because he hadn't played a spell. Alright, he's going to value trade the Glug. Trying to chip down the Ibis over time, I guess. I can just trade it in now, though, with Plague Maw. Plague Maw hits here. Trade these both in. This doesn't come back again, obviously, but I kill the guy that I'm scared about. And I get an 8/8 back, which is really nice. Now, remember, if Ibis comes back, he's just going to be a 1/1. Don't forget. Don't forget. Yeah, I don't want to push myself into fatigue any sooner than I have to, so let's see if I can get a Colossal here. Indeed, I can. And it even synergizes with Plague Maw, which is awesome. I don't have any lethals or anything, so let's just kill this. It's fine. I am now over 100 armor, which is really fun. That is quite enjoyable. Yeah, I don't need Jerry Rig, so I guess just play for Smite buff action. Yeah, I'd probably go Amalgam here. A little more value, doesn't hurt. Just play this maybe. Yeah, none of this really matters. I don't actually want to draw cards. If I need to in a pinch, I can, but I just don't want to take fatigue any sooner than I have to, so not hitting the button for card draw. Okay. Yeah, this always resummons basically plain stuff, so this won't have like more pirates in it or whatever. Okay. I guess I can trade this. That's kind of not all harm here. It's gonna be a wild growth, but that puts the Colossal sometimes on the top. This is what I was talking about earlier with taunts, right? Like where even if they play a Snowfall and my board is full, like hopefully I just have enough taunts that it doesn't really, doesn't present like a lethal of its own or anything. So they can trade in their 3 small things to the Ibis if they want to. The 15/15 I guess would have to hit
I've heard of it.
a 2/7 or something. You wouldn't probably want to kill the Nelly just yet. You might also just trade the 15/15 in and try to keep some of these 3/3s alive, I guess. Could look for like a bioluminescence and a lightning storm or something to like try to fully clear. That would actually be pretty gross, I'll be honest. That would be bad. That would be really gross if you got all that off the scrolls, right? So, let's see. Lightning's not bad, man. I bet they wanted that to hit the... Actually, maybe you should have just hit the Ibis. Because if you would have had a really clean math on that one. Yeah, I don't know. How they just hit the Ibis there. This is 13. We'll just trade in. Not in a hurry here. Oh, they're going to be fatigued. Yeah. Okay. I'm not going face yet. We'll just play it straight. Oh, I got to trade in Nellies as well. If I trade in Nellies, I have lethal, actually. I had Smite +2 plus... What was the other one? I don't know. Let's take a look because this is a fine trade anyway. So I have 13, 15 plus. This is not a pirate, right? No, it's a beast, of course. What did I say? 13, 15, 21 plus. This actually adds 6. 27 plus 2 is 29. I think I'm actually one off lethal, right? But I can get another pirate and that'll be lethal.
All hands on the gas floor.
Any pirate is lethal, right? So. Okay.
Got a job for me?
Door avast!
And yeah, over 100 armor. And still somehow we win with Mr. Smite, like every other game in Hearthstone. I mean, come on. Why is it always Mr. Smite? Always. Every game. Gianoff, dude, thanks for the 3 months, man. Tributius and Deathrattle, did I get your guys' latest bits? I think I did, yeah, okay. Every game. Guys, this deck is really fun. We just played 3 super long, super fun games. They were all awesome. I love this deck. I love this deck. Now, I gotta go in like 45 minutes, so I'm gonna go ahead and pivot over to, because these games take so long, I want to make sure I get this done. We're gonna do a little Regis talks about things session. Regis talks about things and stuff in Hearthstone. That's the theme song, apparently. So there are a lot of you here. I know you probably want to watch more Hearthstone action. I'm so sorry. I have to go to the airport soon to pick up some family. So I got a hard exit today, and I want to get this done for a video. So if you want to watch Hearthstone, no worries. Hop on off. I don't mind. We're going to talk about, if you do stay, we're going to talk about potential nerfs. Cards I think might get nerfed based on the current meta. Because usually we see a balanced patch added to Hearthstone shortly after the expansion releases. Lately, I double checked. It's often been the second Monday after the expansion releases. So about like 13 days. Expansion comes out on Tuesday. You go through the weekend of the first one. That's the first Monday, which is today. We're 6 days out from the expansion. A week from today has been when the nerfs were announced. The past like 3 expansion cycles. So in a week from today, we might have some nerfs. But I wanted to go ahead and talk about potential cards that could be nerfed based on what we've seen so far. Because we kind of had a first wave of the meta that was like all Mech Mage, and even some Mech Paladin was up there. And of course, Quest Warrior was the first wave of this Voyage to the Sunken City meta. But now as we look, the meta has moved into Ramp Druid and Demon Hunter. Now Mech Mage has fallen. It was like 56% win rates, right? Now it's down to 51. Still tier 2, still good. Mech Paladin has fallen even further. Basically, the meta got faster. It iterated either in one of 2 directions. Ramp Druid basically pushed it towards, I'm going to win all the late games and I'm going to swing. Or I'm going to go super fast with Demon Hunter and go under these more mid-rangey decks like Mech Mage and Mech Paladin, right? These tend to get strong turn 4, turn 5, they start like, you know, piling on the Mecha Sharks, doing the cool Mech Paladin, Divine Shield, Taunt stuff. That's where they hit their power bands. This deck is going under them and saying, screw that, I'm going to beat you before that. I'm going to be faster than you. And this deck can actually recover a fair bit. They both have recovery tools, but basically a lot of damage and some fast openers. Strong 1-drops, strong 2-drops, as opposed to strong 3-drops, strong 4-drops. So that's why the meta moved under them. And then Quest Warrior is just really consistent. So even at Diamond through Legend, still holding its rank. Now, Pirate Warrior, of course, is really good at lower ranks. 62%. Far and away the best deck at lower ranks. At high ranks, though, Pirate Warrior falls off super hard. Like, super hard. Tier 3. So keep that in mind as we talk about Pirate Warrior nerfs. I still think it'll get nerfed, but keep in mind, a lot of people don't think it should be because they play here, and it looks awful. So, that's that. But Diamond through Legend is, I think, a good middle range guide that showcases the top of the meta, but also, you know, more towards the middle of the meta a little bit anyway. Now, that said, I want to talk about specific cards I think might get nerfed based on this sort of current read of the meta. I think this will pretty much stabilize. I don't think we'll see a major shift from this. I think this will last through the week. There might be 1 or 2 decks that kind of move a little bit here and there, but I think that'll hold. So based on that, There's one card currently that shows up in all 3 of these top decks. Naga Demon Hunter, Quest Warrior, and Token Demon Hunter. One card that shows up in all 3 of these, which I want to talk about. And by the way, guys, please feel free to chat. You're going to be in the video, so please chat. I want you chiming in and offering thoughts and insights, and you're adding a lot of extra. Yes, Puffer Fist. You guys got it. Puffer Fist is in all 3 of these decks. Of course, in Pirate Warrior, he's a pirate, and he's kind of like another Cannoneer with some attack upside that can either do damage or respond to the board. And in Demon Hunter, you have all these multi-attacks thanks to the new card Multi-Strike, which we're also going to talk about later. It's called Multi-Strike, right? Yeah, Multi-Strike, which allows him to go even harder because you can proc the attack trigger twice and make him do, a consecration basically on a 3-drop that also, is chipping up face damage, which you care about, which much like consecration, I guess. Now he's also being played in other stuff like Rogue with like some poison shenanigans. That's not as concerning in regards to the meta. That's a pretty crazy play, giving him poisonous and like wiping a board. That's awesome, but not super competitive yet. It's really more the, I'm playing this as an aggressive minion. It's got premium stats. It's got an insane effect. It's got really nice synergies for my deck. And that's fueling both of those. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if Puffer Fist as a across the board offender here in the top 3 decks were to be nerfed in some way. Perhaps just making him a 3/3 would, make him easier to kill. I think he'd still be pretty threatening. I've had complaints and concerns about Cannoneer in Warrior for a long time. This is the same sort of card in a different direction. I think pushing him to 4 mana might be too far. That could kill a card like this. Sometimes, 1 mana is a lot in more aggressive decks. I don't want any deck to totally die. Even Pirate Warrior, I think, is healthy to exist in some regard. Just needs to be pulled down. So maybe making him a 3/3 is fine. Do you guys have any other? Only minions is another change. Yeah, that would certainly reduce his face damage output. I was killed at 1 health with this through taunts, and that made me very mad. So yeah, if you only hit my taunt minions instead of my face, that would have been nice. So only minions is definitely a change. After your attacks deal 1 damage to all enemy minions, that could be good. You could limit the number of not everything. Maybe it's like 3 random units. That's kind of like a bad Cannoneer though. 2 mana 2/1. No, I think that would make him even stronger. I think he'd be better as a 2 mana 2/1 maybe, because you could really slot him into some crazy turns with Multi-Strike. Maybe not quite. 1 health is pretty weak, but 3/3 or 3/2. Chat saying 3/3 or goes up a mana. Okay. Minions might be the most elegant option. Yeah, typically Blizzard looks for something that's kind of simple. I think they do prefer to change stats or mana costs over card text, because card text might require that they reprogram the card in some way. Like they have to change how the effect is built, but that's not a particularly complex one. And they certainly have changed card text in the past. But anyway, I think Puffer Fist is a prime target as, a good card in all 3 decks. And just to add too, he is a good card in the list. It's not just that he's kind of included in all of them as a good fit, but he's in the top 1/3 of I think all 3 deck lists when I look in regards to drawn and even mulligan win rates. So yeah, good point. Yeah, the card text also has to be translated and stuff. I will say this is one they might have that kind of baked, because there's a lot of stuff that's like enemy minions versus enemies, but still might have to go through more approval. So I would expect a stat change for those reasons and more. Yeah. After your hero attack, summon a 1/1 Piranha. Oh, dude, I'd love if he was a Piranha synergy card. That'd be cool. All right, so I guess a little bit on theme with this one. I also wanted to talk about this card for Demon Hunter, Multi-Strike. I wasn't expecting this card to be bonkers. I thought it'd be good, but I think it's actually kind of bonkers. It's really good. It's being played in both the token and Naga/Fel versions of Demon Hunter, because it does great things in both of those decks. Basically, it does 3 things you want it to do. I guess most obvious is it's a Fel card, so it's great for Jace decks. Any Fel Demon Hunter loves this. It's great for Kurtrus, which is being played in all those decks too, because you have multiple attacks, which buffs your Kurtrus minions faster. So if you play a couple of these in the early game, you can really pump up the rush minions on Kurtrus that are fueled by multiple attacks. And it's got synergies with all of the attack stuff card, like Puffer Fist, but also Battle Worn Vanguard, summoning multiple Fell Wings off of your Vanguard. So basically, if you play Vanguard, you can get 4 1/1s in a Fell Swoop. From Fell Swoop. That should be the name of a card. 1 Fell Swoop. This should be a Fell card. You get 4 Fell Wings off of just one thing here. Not to mention, this can also just hit face. It stacks up, a ton with Jace in particular in that regard, and it can help clear minions in the early game. So it's good in its own right as like this just kind of 2-part hit. Either get some chip damage, clear minion, but then also these additional synergies really blow this card out in regards to what it can do for a single 1-cost card. And we've seen this before with all these cheap buffs for Demon Hunter, right? Like whatever it was called, twins. What, you guys, I don't know the name of the card. What's it called? I can't think of it right now. What's it called? Twin Slice. Same sort of thing as Twin Slice had back in the day, right? Like just too much output sometimes for these really cheap damage cards. They just scale into other things so well. 2-cut. The name of it's 2-cut. So I don't know. How would you change Multi-Strike? Just +1 attack. I don't think you'd want to make it 2 mana. That might be like that. Doubling the cost is pretty insane. It may not get targeted right. It might just be other things around it that get impacted that reduce its efficacy. But 1 attack is not insane. Kind of keeps it in line with your hero power too, like flavor wise. Like I'm getting to use my hero power twice for 1 mana instead of once. So you could do maybe like 2 mana, 3 attack, but that might make it too good. That's kind of what happened with Twin Slice when it got nerfed. It was similarly good. Can't attack face. Yeah, I kind of thought based on some readings of the card, that was already some possible interpretation, but it can definitely go face. But anyway, I'd say maybe a +1 attack would be my change if they're going to change it. And I should clarify, as I always do for these videos, I'm not necessarily recommending any of these changes. I'm trying to take them one by one and give you my thoughts. I'm just identifying cards that might be problematic based on the sort of things we historically have seen for Blizzard. Based on their win rates, popularity, those sorts of things are usually what determine what's getting nerfed. So I'm not really recommending these. I will on occasion say I think this should be changed, but not as a blanket statement. So I guess the next one everybody talks about. Let's talk about this guy, Mr. Smite. Mr. Smite is, depending on which part of the player base you talk to, one of the most hated cards in Hearthstone right now. And for 2 reasons. Number one is Quest Warrior is very popular and still very good at lower ranks. As we mentioned, it falls off at higher ranks, but for a majority of the player base, Quest Pirate Warrior is the best deck in the game. And Mr. Smite offers a ton of lethality for that deck, particularly now in combination with Nelly, the new Colossal, giving you on occasion a 1 mana Mr. Smite that gives you also some 1 mana pirates to play with it when you discover them for the pirate ship here. So a couple different angles now where Mr. Smite, and also off of Juggernaut, of course. You summon Mr. Smite sometimes off Juggernaut for free in combination with Gore Howls, and that's like 13 damage plus whatever else you have in hand. So it starts to feel like a majority of Hearthstone games end the exact same way with Mr. Smite and his crew hitting you in the face. Now, I don't think Mr. Smite's a particular issue from a power level standpoint. I do recognize he kills a lot of people, but Pirate Warrior, as I said, in many cases, you feel like the game is over well before Mr. Smite matters. He's just kind of the final blow. Pirate Warrior, when it's good in those lower ranks environments, is often good because of like the Cannoneers and the lead ups to that. Just the consistency, the minions on board, all of that gets you there. Mr. Smite's just sort of a bonus. But I do think there's something to be said for a card that ends games every single time. And even when I'm playing stuff like we just played a Taunt Deathrattle Druid, Mr. Smite was still the card that ended the game because I randomly generated a Nelly. And then Nelly gave me Mr. Smite, And that's how the game ended. Despite playing a 20-minute taunt deck, Mr. Smite still ended the game. And that's kind of that Leroy effect of old, where Leroy was always how games ended, and you get kind of sick of Leroy. I think Mr. Smite's had the same sort of effect. So if I were going to change Mr. Smite, I think it would be more from a feel standpoint. Like, this game just has so much weight, or this deck card has so much weight and gravity, and like games are just really warped around its existence. It changes entire game plans and strategies. It might be a little too heavy in that regard. So I think perhaps for that reason, Mr. Smite demands a change from a feel standpoint. People are just getting sick of it. From a competitiveness standpoint, it's perhaps not that bad. But that said, what would you guys do? Pirates have Rush. Maybe Mr. Smite has Charge, but the other pirates have Rush. I like the idea that you could maybe split it so that he still has that kind of Leroy effect himself, but is not enabling like crazy burst damage. So maybe Charge, your pirates have Rush. That would be fine. So he can still go face, but everybody else is. I think removing the pirate tag would kill the flavor. He's clearly a pirate in his artwork. Like, he's wearing pirate stuff. He's on a pirate ship. I don't think you could do that. Adjacent pirates have Charge. I mean, that would limit him a little, but I think would still present a lot of issues. Because, you know, sometimes it's just the 3 off Nelly that matter anyway, or like 1 or 2. Battle Cry, that would help from the random summon stuff. Yes, Battle Cry, give your pirates Charge. That would help a lot from like off of Juggernaut, for instance. Nelly, well, Nelly would still be good, I guess, but it would limit Juggernaut's utility. Take it out of the Discover and Generation pool. The only problem with that is it's like hard to communicate that and hard to know that that's happening as a nerf, both initially and later. It's like, wait, why am I never getting Mr. Smite sort of thing? It's kind of hidden. Other pirates have Charge. Okay, so then he doesn't charge himself. That would fix the crazy burst. I don't know. I actually almost like it the other way around, where he has Charge. I think it's cool for a neutral Charge finisher to exist. It just has to be reasonably powered. And I think he actually is. If you just look at Mr. Smite as a 6-mana Leroy, that's, in my mind, fine for the game. Not many decks are able to use that. Sometimes aggro decks toss him in as that. It's when he starts manipulating all the other pirates and having craziness that I think he becomes the feel-bad card that he is. For the rest of the game, your pirates have Charge. That's it, yeah. All right, so some good thoughts in chat. I think I like the Battle Cry change the most, maybe, to limit his like Juggernaut appeal, but that doesn't really fix the Nelly side of it. I don't know. Maybe just your other pirates have Charge is good. Battle Cry is pretty good. A few potential changes. I also liked Charge, your pirates have Rush. I think that's kind of cool because he retains his own threat, but doesn't give like the crazy pop off. That would probably be my change. Charge, your pirates have Rush. That'd be cool. That's my recommendation. Okay. So well, I'm not going to talk about that one. Mr. Spite's enough talk about pirates. So next up is sad. But I think it might be time to talk about my buddy Guff. I think Guff might need to be changed. I love Guff. I want Guff so badly to be a card that I play every day. But I don't think a world where Guff is a really good card is good for Hearthstone, probably. I want Guff to be like a tier 3 card, right? Where you get to do goofy things with 20 mana and have these really fun big moments. But when Guff is reliably giving Druid crazy ramp and they're winning a lot, it creates lopsided experience for players. The opponent is like, oh my god, they have 19 mana. It creates this sort of hopelessness, this like overwhelming, just like, oh, how can I ever keep up with this? Especially if they play it early. All of that, I think, is pretty feel bad. If Guff were getting you to 19 mana and you were just playing goofy garbage, people would be in love with it. Like, oh, they have 20 mana, but they can't do anything. The problem is, of course, Druid's really good at doing things with all of that excess mana now. And this data from HS Replay, I think, really showcases this a lot. This is Ramp Druid Mulligan data. Guff has the highest Mulligan win rate in the deck, right? He's very, very good to keep early because you want to ramp. I don't know if that's healthy for a 5-mana card to have a Mulligan win rate quite that high, right? The whole game plan becomes about him. It's not surprising. I understand why it's high, but it just might be high for a hero card. Can create some pretty divisive game states where, like, if they hit Guff, they just run away with it. They don't hit Guff, you know, they don't do as well, obviously. Also, of course, high drawn and played win rates too, naturally. So, yeah, I don't, maybe just make Guff like 6 mana, slow him down a little bit, right? Slowing him down a turn or two could make a big difference. Not only does that push him back a turn, but it also makes you commit more in total. You can't weave any other plays in as easily. So maybe that. There's some stuff where you could say empty mana crystals instead of mana crystal. That could also help so that he doesn't fill in the gaps on his mana quite as easily. Again, I think Blizzard would probably default to a mana change over a card text change if they can. So maybe 6 mana. I'm going to be sad, though. I love Guff for my meme decks, and that's going to be harder to make a meme deck work if Guff is like 6 mana, right? So I almost wish they'd leave Guff alone and nerf some other part of the Ramp Druid package, right? That's why I was so shocked Nourish came out at 5 mana again. Got buffed back to 5 because it just feels like it really enables this. Might be hard for this deck to work as well if Nourish wasn't at 5. That said, there is one other target I think is pretty reasonable. You saw it pop up there when we were looking at win rates. It's Dozing Kelpkeeper. This is a really, really good card in the early game for Druid. Especially if they hit the turn 2, turn 3 follow-up with like a Wrath or a Moonlit into a Wild Growth. This could create some enormous swings on board and can actually be sort of a threat in its own right. A 4/4 is not something you can just sort of ignore forever. So whether it trades in and gets some good defensive utility or just kind of becomes a 4/4 later that's followed up by 5/5s and 8/8s and just sometimes gets weaved into a turn with like a big Miracle Growth taunt. All of that creates some overwhelming board states for people. So this is really one of the other best cards in Ramp Druid. So if you weren't going to hit Guff, this could be the other target. It's basically the ramp cards, Guff, Growth, and Nourish, and Innervate, right? The best mulligan win rates. And then this guy and Jerry Rig pop in. So I guess Jerry Rig could also be a target, but for some reason I feel like Kelpkeeper is probably a little better. And indeed, its mulligan win, or its drawn win rate is a little higher than Jerry Rig, but only by a little. So, I don't know. You could also look at drawn win rates, right? This is also a really important metric. So, maybe Naga Giant is something you can nerf. To me, the Giants come down later. They don't feel quite as bad. But I think I target these. These are deciding the game earlier very often. Earthen Scales? Yeah, I love Earthen Scales, though, so no. No, I can't lose my beautiful Earthen Scales. Okay. Oh, what other card we did talk about? Actually, Kazakusan for Ramp Druid. This is also a big pain point for a lot of people, right? Kazakusan could also get nerfed for Ramp Druid. I'm really torn on Kazakusan. I've often said this is another one of those cards you don't want to be in a tier 1 deck. I think you want this to be in like a tier 3 deck. I hate the way he does just completely shut out other people's late game strategies. Like treasures just always win in the late game. They're so strong, right? So you could tweak this with the treasure pool, as we've already seen done a little bit with like Locust going away. A lot of people want to change the way he functions so that you have to have dragons or have to have played dragons in order to make him trigger. So like for each dragon you played this game, add a custom treasure to your deck or something, right? Like that sort of thing. Again, I think that's less likely than just changing something behind the scenes or increasing mana cost or whatever. But this is a card that's getting a lot of hate, and it is being played, of course, in other things outside of Ramp Druid, although not as successfully. But I will say, like, Druid is already a bit exposed to aggro decks. So Like, you know, you can go under Druid and just smork them down before they have time to stabilize. And nerfing Kazakhstan doesn't change that, right? But it does change their like late game dominance, which might expose them to another weakness. Like suddenly other late game decks might be able to compete against them, which would in effect, you know, lower their win rate. If you change some of those like if you change Guff, for instance, if you nerf Guff, they're probably still gonna win the late game against control decks. Like nerfing Guff's not gonna help, and they're still gonna be exposed to aggro. So it may not really change anything in essence. If you nerf the ramp, they may kind of land in almost the same spot. Obviously, it'll take small hits here and there, but nerfing Kazakhstan might actually change the outcome a little more readily. So that might be a better fix in some ways. Dragon's Blade requirement seems most sensible, which is probably why it won't happen. Wow. Kaz should be a payoff for playing a sweet dragon deck, not a catch-all win condition. I do agree with that sentimentally, yeah. It does feel like he's just a toss him in, and this condition is kind of meaningless, right? This has rarely ever meant anything. I mean, it does, because sometimes you want to play him as soon as you can, and that's how he's being played before, but nowadays he's just sort of almost an Archivist Elysiana times 1,000, right? I'm tired to have to play aggro to answer these kind of decks. Yeah, I agree with you. That's what I'm getting at, right? Like, changing this as opposed to the Guff and that stuff would help in that regard. This would expose it to other kinds of late game decks, which might be nice. Okay, so a couple more here that I want to talk about before I gotta go, which I gotta go pretty soon, so I need to speed this up. I don't think this needs a nerf anymore. The first few days of the expansion, I thought Mecha Shark was going to be a really prime nerf target. I'm not sure I buy that anymore. Mech Mage is pretty solidly tier 2 at this stage with fairly healthy win rates. Mecha Shark can definitely feel like a crazy card in that world. It does have the highest drawn win rate in the deck. Not a great mulligan win rate necessarily, but highest drawn rate in the deck. So if you were going to nerf something in Mage, I do think Mecha Shark would be the target. Gateway is also like the enabler for it, so they kind of go in tandem in a lot of ways. So you could target either of these, perhaps. Gateway to 4, Shark to 4. There's a few changes you could make, but I don't think it's really necessary. I think this won't remain that frustrating for long. I think it was frustrating early because it was everywhere. Popularity's reduced, win rate's reduced. I think this one will settle in a not far. I think it'll settle in a healthy spot, basically. So I wanted to mention Mecha Shark because it's been brought up a lot, but I don't think it's a target for me. So, moving on. We got to talk about this. Switcheroo! Switcheroo has been utilized for two kind of weird, crazy things, of course. In wild format, Switcheroo is utilized with the Darkness and Stone Tusk Boar to blow people up for 40 damage with whatever, Vivid Nightmare or something. What's it called? Or even just a 20/20, you know, early in the game can sometimes still be enough without that. So kind of a weird feel bad lose deck in wild. I don't know if the power level of this is insane in wild, but I think it's competitive and really annoying regardless. And then in standard, Switcheroo has been used with Twin Fin, Fin Twin, and Deathwing to make two 12/12s. I did a video on that deck if you want to check it out for standard. And a lot of people say, yeah, but it's bad. And it's not actually bad. It's not great, but it's tier 2. Switcheroo Priest is tier 2. It wins games enough to climb. A good player who plays it well can actually gain even more than that. A lot of people have hit legend with Switcheroo Priest. It's not really 50-50. It's actually a little higher than 50-50 because you can manipulate it, as you can see by the win rate. And I think good players can make it even better, or playing against bad players too. But regardless, it's really not the win rate that I think this reason this should get changed. I think it actually has a decent win rate, which is the problem. But it's the experience, right? Nobody wants to just lose a coin flip on turn 3. It's actually awful to play because if you do lose the coin flip, you just concede out. And it's awful to win because you don't feel like you've done anything. There were no decisions made. There's no impactful gameplay experience. You just got some 12-12s and you won. And then if you lose, you just lost to some garbage 12-12s on turn 3. Your opponent didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to make any decisions. And if you win against it, like because you had some silences or something or a tech card, that's still just a coin flip. It's like, oh, well, I drew my tech card, so I win. It's just not a fun game. It's just boring. It's stupid. So from a power level standpoint, no, of course, a 50% win rate deck does not need to be nerfed. But from a ruining someone's day standpoint, yeah, I think something has to change. You don't want some guy who plays 3 games a week to get hit for 24-24 in standard on turn 3, or summon on turn 3, get hit for on turn 4, or whatever the case. He's gonna quit. He's gonna stop playing the game. There's been 20 people who said exactly that on YouTube. Whether they actually quit, who knows? But there are people who will see that, and it will be the final straw, and they'll go, "This game is garbage. They don't balance it," which, you know, not true necessarily, but that's the takeaway is, God, this is stupid. I'm done. I'm not. They'll just never play the game again. It's like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. This is dumb. So I don't think those experiences can exist. I think we have to limit those. And in that case, I think you got to change something about Switcheroo. Probably Switcheroo is your target. I don't think you want to change Twin Fin or Boar. Boar got changed and people threw a fit, I think. So, or maybe it was the Murloc. I don't know. Something got changed. People got mad. So I think you got to change Switcheroo. I don't know how to change it. It's sad because this is a pretty cool card. I like this card if it wasn't being cheesed. It's true for a lot of the things I've mentioned today. If they weren't being cheesed, I think I'd love them. Yeah, health has been the most common suggestion I've seen. Draw champion to swap their health. So you can still create some big health stuff, but you don't necessarily create an instant lethality. You have to have a follow-up like Bless or something, which kind of slows it down, delays it a little bit, gives your opponent more time. But it would still play towards Priest. Like, I like having high health things, and Bless would be really cool that way. And would limit Twin Fin, of course. You'd have 1 minion with you'd have to have 2 Blesses to follow up for a Twin Fin, for instance. So for this turn could be cool because you'd have to have like 6 mana for a Twin Fin. Might not help Wild enough though. Actually, does the health even help Wild? Because they have like that reversing thing. I guess it demands that they have more cards. If it swaps health, they have to have like the Vivid and the swap and the Switcheroo and not have drawn a minion, which might limit it enough. I can't really speak to the Wild experience as much, but I think a lot of those changes would be enough for standard. Yeah, Topsy-Turvy or Interfire, exactly, yeah. But yeah, I'd almost hate to lose Switcheroo or Twin Fin. They're both really cool cards in their own way. It's just, I just don't think this can exist. Yeah, I will say, yeah, Trinities, that's a good point. It is losing a lot of popularity in Wild, or Standard, I mean. It's not that popular. I actually think, I think we looked at it was about 3 to 5%, depending on your rank, popularity. I actually think that's too high for something this annoying. It's just so stupid that you don't want 5% of people having to deal with this. The 5% of the people who deal with this are going to be so angry and annoyed. They don't want to have to tech for it. You don't want to have to build a whole deck to beat this, you know, or not a whole deck, but you don't want to ruin your deck to have to beat this random thing you run into 5% of the time. That's stupid. Just because it's so stupid. It's like such a ridiculous, dumb combo. But it is like not, I was scared that after this got discovered on day 1 or 2, I was really scared this was going to be like 20% of the meta and people were just going to cheese this. It did not reach those levels, and it seems to maybe be falling off a little bit, like, because it's just not that interesting. It's so boring to play. If that happens and it continues to decline in popularity, that'll be really nice. In fact, here we have the popularity for Switcheroo Priest. I don't know what happened here. Oh, this is pre-expansion. How can there be a Switcheroo Priest? Oh, but anyway, this is basically when it got discovered. It started at 5%. It's fallen all the way to 1.7. That's probably okay. So maybe for the sake of standard, this will continue to decline. It won't be an issue. For Wild, a ban could be the solution then. Popularity in Wild, I don't think I have a way to look at that. I don't think HS Replay has that slot. Like, they don't have a meta report. I don't think you can look per deck because it doesn't capture every variation. So maybe ban in Wild, leave in Standard might be fine. That could be fine. Just keep an eye on popularity in Standard. Oh, and then finally, one last thing. I don't know a lot about this one either. But I hear a lot about it. So, Kael'thas. I think Kael'thas might get changed. Seems like Kael'thas is doing crazy things in Wild. I looked up some deck win rates. I haven't experienced this because I haven't played Wild since the expansion came out. But definitely were some high win rate Kael'thas decks. They weren't like the highest win rate, but there were some high ones. If we look. This is specific deck list ranked by win rate for Wilds. There's like some Mech Paladin stuff, some Pirate Rogue stuff, and then Kael'thas stuff. So they're obviously very good. And I don't know, Wild's in an uproar. I mean, I see so many people talking about this. Yeah, turn 2 kills. I think turn 1 kills are possible. That all sounds very frustrating and awful. So I suspect we might see Kael'thas push back to 1, I guess. Is that a good enough fix? It seems like 1 was fine before. So maybe 1 will be fine again. So you don't have like, you need like 5 or 6 mana to do something crazy instead of like, you know, just a few. So yeah, that would be my final nerf. So I gotta go here in a minute, but are there any other cards you guys wanted to talk about you think deserve nerfs or should be nerfed, or any other cards at the top of your mind? Those were the ones that seemed most salient to me, but I'm curious if anybody else has stuff that's bugging them. Zakul? We did talk about Mecha Shark, yeah. We did talk about Cannoneer. Cannoneer's another angle for Pirate Warrior. I've always been bugged by Cannoneer, I get it. Swordfish brought up. I mean, this card's really strong, but I don't think Rogue is really looking too scary at the moment. When we look at the meta, Pirate Rogue is pretty safely tier 2 in a healthy spot. So, although this card seems like a power outlier to some extent in that deck because it's so strong, I don't think the deck warrants a nerf at this stage. Maybe in a future expansion, if they get even more support and that gets refined, this would be the first target. But at the moment, it's at about a 50, just under 51%. So I wouldn't complain. Carriel? I wouldn't change Carriel. I think Carriel's fine. Carriel gives aggro decks plenty of time to go under her. Like, they have time to kill you by the time Carriel comes down, and then Carriel presents an alternate win condition, which I love. I'm glad that it's an actual like defensive win condition. Like, you can't kill me now. The game is over. We talked about Pufferfist. We talked about Smite. I do still find Free Shaman annoying. I still hate Snowfall Guardian, dude. Deck's not too strong at the moment, though, so it's just annoying. I don't think it's like a change for now. But it is very annoying still. Bioluminescence. Yeah, it's good, but Shaman's not in a crazy place from win rate standpoint, so I don't think they'll change this. I'm scared this will get even better later, though. This is a card to keep an eye on. It's just so much potential to do crazy stuff. Quest Hunter? Quest Hunter is, again, solidly tier 2, 51% right now. Don't think it'll be a target. Maybe as it gets more spells again, like, keep an eye on it in the future. There's always things that can open it up, but... Zyrella changed to Deathrattles that have activated? Okay. Yeah, again, Zyrella right now is actually pretty low win rate. That Shellfish Priest is 43% overall. I don't think that'll get a change. I do like that a lot of you are just mentioning things you hate, though. I'm on board. There's a lot of cards I have like a pocket hatred for that I love getting nerfed, even if they don't necessarily deserve it for win rate. I totally understand. Things that frustrate you or feel weird or feel bad. I'm on board. I support you in those, you know, please suggest those. Although I will say, I don't think it'll happen. I'm just, you know, recognizing Blizzard tendencies. If I could pick a hate list, a hit list of cards to nerf, man, and Blizzard listen, that would be beautiful. Can't stand Reno. Kazakhstan we talked about, yeah, it's a popular one. Okay, so it seems like you guys are identifying a lot of the same stuff that we talked about. Seems like there's some consensus over what should be changed. A few outliers here and there that feel pretty bad. Demon Hunter hero cards are very strong. We actually talked about that earlier when playing against it. I agree. This card's really good. I mean, playing in a lot of decks right now. I don't think Blizzard would target this one, but it's fringe. I think there were other Demon Hunter cards that stood out more to me, but Kurtrus is not necessarily impossible. I wouldn't be totally stunned if they went that way. I would be surprised, but not stunned. But he is very good. Yeah, I gave this card 5 stars. And I ranked him as like my #1 most played card in like the pre-release rankings thing. And he wasn't at the time, but is he actually the most played hero card now? He might be. Now that I think about it. He finally caught up. Card type. Hero cards. Oh no, Goff, obviously. Duh, still Goff. It's still Goff, obviously. Cariel's barely eking out Kurtrus too. He's up there now, though. Actually, oh yeah. If you search to more recently, he is second now, yeah. Pretty wild. Rokara's buff really helped Rokara too. Man. Really, we're in a state where all the hero cards are pretty good. I mean, we got a couple buffs to make that happen, remember? But they're all pretty good. It's kind of cool. All right, anyway, I gotta go, guys. I'm done. So let me drop a raid before I leave. I gotta go to the airport, like I said. Sorry for the short stream today. It was either this or nothing, so I figured you guys would prefer an hour or two than nothing. So let me drop you off here. Thanks for hanging out, by the way. So many of you watching for just like a chat. That's awesome. Appreciate that. All right, let's drop a raid. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks for the bits and subs and follows and so on. Stay tuned for more videos. Only a short video on YouTube today, but I'll try to get a couple more out tomorrow. A lot going on right now with the family coming in, trying to prep and stuff. But all right. See you all. Love you a ton. Enjoy this raid. Thanks for hanging out today. Thanks for watching. And until next time, game on.